Wednesday, September 27th. We just introduced the lesson for today. It's going to focus on using the pen tool in Adobe Illustrator, the ultimate guide of drawing almost any type of artwork and convert it into digital vector art. And these are the steps that we're going to be exploring today. So that's what this lesson will revolve mostly around, and some other things that will explain the next exercise and assignment that we're going to present. So without further ado, let's get started and let's have some fun. Want to make sure my sharing works first though. There we go. Perfect. If somebody might want to quickly join my meeting to see if I can see my screen. Sometimes it does glitch and stuff quickly, and let me know if it doesn't. If it does, just let's carry on. Anyone. Anyone. Make sure someone's doing it though. Any volunteers? Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, the big thing about placing images in Illustrator is important. I explained several ways. If you download an image off the internet, JPEG, dragging it to the program, it'll give you this big X. That means it's not linked to the document. And a lot of things can happen. If you save the file, the link will be missing, just like a website. I use that analogy of comparison. The best thing to do is embed the file, hit embed, and now it becomes part of the document. Okay, so that's the best way to keep it in there. Yeah, you can see my screen? Perfect. Thank you. Another way is to go File, Place. You can place the file directly from the software by looking at the location and hitting this link option here, down right here on the bottom corner. If this is, by default, it's on. So your job is to pay attention and just turn it off. And now the link is no longer with the file. And you place it in there. Wow, image trace, eh? Let's see how good AI is for this one, okay? Now I'm gonna test AI because this is a pretty good quality, not a bad image. If it's a worse quality one, it's not gonna be good. Wasn't that bad actually. Just ignore this one part. Not bad, not bad, not bad. It's getting a little better here. The only thing is, look, the corners, you still have to fix it. Not that perfect. This is not acceptable. You did this for Nike, you get fired. Like, you know what I mean? They print it like big and they see that thing on the corner on the shoe. No, that's not gonna go. Done, later. So you can have, like, AI is good, but you gotta have to really have human intervention to make sure it's perfect, right? Let's see the other corner. Look at that. That's not good. No. So thank you, but no thank you, right? The rest of it looks okay, not bad. I mean, I didn't really break it up, but the point is you're gonna learn how to draw this just as fast, if not better than AI, okay? So here we go. Let me just place the image one more time. And I was just really curious to see how good these AI tools integrated with Illustrator are. Listen, I'm sure they're great, okay? It's how you use them for what purpose? Logos? Never. Maybe other images and art could help you. But there's nothing better than you doing it yourself, because it's the whole process of being the artist behind the technique. All right, so here we go. Open up the layers panel on the right, or go to window, look for layers. F7 is the shortcut to open the layers panel also. It also works in Photoshop and Illustrator, F7. If you have an F key on your keyboard, if not, you gotta do function F7 or something like that. Once the layers panel is open, double click on this layer itself, and you're gonna get the layer options will show up. Here you're gonna name it template, or you put Nike logo template, something descriptive so you can pretty much refer to it later. And the important thing here is to check off the template option. Once you check it off, everything else grays out. And the other thing is, the dimming is set to 50%. That means it's like a 50% black, you get like a gray, right? That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like a see-through or green or whatever. So once you do the template option and you call it that name, you click OK. This is the template now. It's like the same thing we did with the Android logo last week. Remember the Android logo? Same thing. But what we're gonna do now is create a new layer. So down here, this button here, create new layer. Right to the bottom of this palette right here. Not here. This create new sublayer. We don't want to do that. We want to create a new layer. Okay? You can also click here and click new layer this way. And this is layer 2. That's okay, just click OK. The color label red and blue is just, again, another visual indicator to identify them as such. So red is like the layer 2, and you can name it, call it tracing if you want, whatever, it's fine. That's a normal layer. This one here is a template. Look how it's italicized. Look how it's locked. So all these things you leave it alone. Don't unlock it and stuff. It'll defeat the purpose of what you just did. Just make sure you select layer 2 or the tracing layer. Zoom right in and let's get started. Let me maximize my window. It's going to resize the window nice and big. I don't even need the layer panel anymore. I already did my layers panel. I'm just going to close it so I have more space to work with. Look at my shortcuts. Command plus, Command minus, right? Space bar always gives you the navigating hand so you can start exactly what you're doing. Like right here, that's my focus. I can clearly see the imperfection of the JPEG from the file that I got from the internet. This is why we're doing what we're doing. A lot of times, you're going to recreate logos for companies. Maybe they lost their vector file. Chances are Nike doesn't have they have a copy of their own vector files. But if you're going to do something with Nike, in association with, I've done that for many companies, they can't give you the file just like that. You have to ask for it. You have to go through the whole process to get a logo. You might as well just redraw it, right? As long as you have permission to use their logo in whatever it is that you're doing, you're fine. Here, we're not going to resell or repurpose this logo, so we're okay. Unless we go ahead and make t-shirts and sell them on the street, then you might get in trouble, right? But that's what they can do, because now you have a vector file. Let me tell you something. What we're doing here is a vector file. You can send this to an actual factory and tell them to embroider Nike shirts, and they'll do it because you have the drawing file. You understand? You can't give them a JPEG and say, make me t-shirts. It's not going to work like that. It's going to be very, very poor quality looking. Whereas this is going to be the real deal. The EPS, the vector files, right? All right, so hit the pen tool, P for pen. Now you're gonna press D for default, but I'm gonna ask you to turn off the fill, because if you have like a white fill and a black stroke, you can't see your tracing, it's gonna get in the way. So the trick is to click here on the white little square and go to the far left where it says none. It's gonna get the red line going across. That's a good way to get started for almost every tracing job that you might do. You just wanted to get the outline, not the fill. Let me just show you why, okay? Because if I have white and black and I start drawing, right? Just watch, right? And I start drawing, see, it can get in the way. Like it's hard for me to see through, right? That's why I rather draw with no fill, like none. So when I'm drawing right now, right? When I'm doing like this kind of stuff, see, I can see right through it, right? See? I can see it. I have no interference at all. So that's why you want to set it up properly. So turn off the fill, black stroke, and you can start right in the corner here. Just click once, right? And I'm gonna move my hand all the way down, maybe perhaps over here, right here. Now watch what I'll do next. You can just watch me do it the first time, then you can do the second time if you want. So this is where you have to be very predictive, and this comes with skill. Like when you do it a lot, you kind of know what distance to go and measure. It's all up here. If you go too far, it's not going to capture the whole curve. If you go too close, it's going to give you too many breakpoints. So the trick is to find the perfect sweet spot. So you go right over, basically, I would say just when it starts to form the curve, like around here, I'm going to catch it right over here to be safe. I'm going to click the mouse, hold it, and drag it until I line up this exact portion to line up with the rest of the logo like that. And just stop right there. So click, drag, let go. Try it. And then I'm going to hold the space bar and just move it up a bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's there, it looks half decent, you're okay. Now it's waiting for our next move. The next move is going to be, we can go all the way here, or we can go kind of here, just be safe. I would go a little more, just a little more, like around here somewhere. Like this is my point. I'm going to stop here, click, drag the mouse, and move it in the direction that I'm going. Look, it's perfectly lined up. And it's also going perpendicular to the direction that I'm going to. And that's perfect right there. Don't worry if it's off. You can see it's off a bit on the bottom. I can always fix that later. Not a big deal. So I'm just going to go click and release. Okay. I'm going to watch this, space bar, because I'm running out of real estate room here. So space bar always gives me the hand without interfering with my drawing. So just move it over there. I can continue now. Right. This time I'm going to go all the way to the end. Why not? Right here, all the way to the end. Click. Likewise, all the way back this way. We can always round that after. I really want that sharp point, just to make a point. I want to make a sharp point. So I'm going to hold the space bar, go all the way down here. I'll click right here. I know I'm cut off a little bit here, but that's just how it is. We can always fix it after. So again, click there. Now this is the careful part, because we're entering curve territory. So I'm going to go, I'm estimating this. I'm going like this. I got to do all the way from here to there, right? So I'll meet it halfway. Halfway means here. That's halfway, right? So halfway means I'm going to click, drag, position the mouse that way, so it's going the right direction, and capturing my continuation of the curve. And then I'll go all the way up here to join it, click, hold the mouse, and just basically do that. And then deselect it. I know it wasn't perfect according to the Nike standards, but I purposely wanted my corners, so I kind of did it this way. And if I do the actual, reposition, you can see here the result that we did was pretty good, pretty successful, I would say. You can go ahead with this, no problem. If you want to change the stroke color to something else, maybe I'll make it red so I can really visualize it, make it thicker. Right? That might be a good way to capture everything. Also, if you remember when the stroke attributes last week, if you go under window stroke, let me see if it'll work here. See the corners here? I can make them sharp, or I can go over here and make it round in the middle. It's called the butt cap. Remember we did that with the Android logo last week with the antennas. Remember the antennas were like square? We made them round by doing the same feature I'm showing you now. It's a good review. So I'm going to use the middle option. You got to make sure when you open the stroke panel under stroke, you make sure this is like show the options so you can initiate the round join option there. Not the cap, but the corner is smooth. This is under stroke. Yeah, window stroke. And make sure your curve is selected. And you want to find the corner attribute and change it to the middle, which is round. And I'm sure that accommodated for both. I mean, look, you can even grab the white arrow tool after, and you can move this. Look, you can move this here. You can reposition the corner so it captures a better location for you for the Nike logo. Same here. I can just do this. How'd you do? Let me come and look. Great. Just a few more little points here. Just kind of, when you put too many times, it'll do that, right? But that's okay, looks good otherwise. Very good. Nice. The first time you guys did really good. This is a challenge. I won't listen. This is not easy to make it go. It's a challenge, right? So the fact that you guys did it was awesome. Oh yeah, so basically, when you open up this, close down there. Show options. Make sure it's not the last option. So for you, this is a newer version. So your tool, that one is on that one there right now. It's the reverse, okay? So if you select it, then you can go to that other option. You want to flip out? Just a little few points in some areas, but that's okay. Because you're graphic designer. 3 weeks later, I said you guys are a graphic designer. That's minor. Huh? Minor, see? All right. Well, here's. So you can practice it's not a mistake, right? So maybe that should be, we just right? That's a template. Close that. The whole purpose is not that's close it over here. Yeah. Unlock that column. Stop. Double click here again. Okay. Okay. Okay, you know what? Unlock it. Bring it in, swap out. Sure. This is recording. Watch that. Maybe just do it now, quickly while I come back. It's a little squished though, but maybe that's how the picture looks. Yeah. Or your resolution. Maybe, right? You know what I mean? It's a little flat, right? Yeah. That's right. Well, I can't put that up and then why not? Important one, right? I think okay. So that should work. First of all, man, why not? Accident, you press outline. Control Y. Yeah, those are the outline, right? If you guys press Control Y by accident, I know you're used to it by now. If I, let's say this is, let me flip this here. Let me do a flip with the arrow. Flip means make the stroke the fill, make the fill the stroke. Switch the two. That means I have no stroke, red fill. Instead of red stroke, no fill, right? So watch if I press Control or Command Y. It's outline mode, no matter what. You can't see colors in outline mode. You only see outlines, right? That's like the X-ray vision kind of thing. So make sure you control that, right? It's under here, View, Outline, Command, Control Y, on or off. It's like a switch, on and off. I like how most of you approach this for the first time. I'm pretty impressed. Very nice, okay? Some of you added too many points at some places. That's okay. So now you know, you learned the second time you put less points. Some of you rushed it. You put too few points. See? So you have to know the perfect happy medium, right? This is why the next exercise is going to help you get better at this. So do me a favor, save this. Do a save as. If you want to practice this again, like another time, I would strongly recommend you do it 2 more times, just for practice purposes. You're going to get better every time you do it. Trust me. Call this tracing exercise 01 maybe. On the desktop, we're going to save that. And put it away. So we learn a lot from this. How to get an image off the internet, place it properly, linking it, not linking it, what's the difference, making a template layer, creating a tracing layer, tracing it, learning the pen tool, orchestrating the whole process. This is like what matters. The next thing is set up for you. It's a little easier. Make sure this is recording still. So if you click on the course module, I did organize it nicely now because it's in fold. Before it was like the first, second class. We're trying to get everything sorted out. So now it's all organized. So if you go to class 4, you know, you see the class 4 stuff, right? So do me a favor, download both of these files. So click on Tracing S exercise. This is the next level now. You all graduated to the next level, okay? So the next level is S. That's the tougher one now, right? It's a little more challenging than the Nike logo, maybe to some same degree. But it's a better practice, this one. There's a lot more intervals of tracing, so it's going to help you a lot. So tracing S. And of course, the logo challenge exercise as well. So 2 files to download. Okay. Let's open up Tracing S. Just double click on the file, Tracing S, and you should open it right into Illustrator, and it's all set up for you, right? You just want to open up the layers panel. Oh, it's just a double check. So layer 1 is our template. You don't have to mess with this. I'm just showing you, right? You don't, because the last thing I want you to do is start doing this and this, and like, because you're gonna like offset the whole parameters, right? So just leave it all, like, don't touch it, basically, because it's all set up for you. Just make sure you're in layer 2, and the layer 2 is when we trace this. And believe you me, as they say, if you trace this one like 10 times, you're gonna get that much more better at this, okay? Maybe like 3 times, okay? But let's do it once to begin with. I don't want to waste you doing this the whole class 10 times here. I want you to do this on your time. I'll do it once with you now. I'm recording this step-by-step process. When we're done, you can do it on your own, okay? So maybe you're gonna watch me first. Just watch me first. I'm gonna click on the pen tool. I'm gonna press D for default and hide the fill, because remember, the white fill gets in the way. So I'm gonna go no fill and black stroke. I'll even change the color to maybe red or green so you can see it nice and vivid. Maybe a bright green to wake everybody up.
This registration one is for what?
Which registration?
In the flow. Next to the none is the registration.
Oh, that.
What is that?
That's for crop marks. So when you do packaging, like well, there's no artwork here. When you do packaging and you set up 4 colors on a press, the press is the size of that stable. It's a big press with 4 colors. The registration marks, there's 3 blacks. There's 100% black, a registration black, and a process black. So all these blacks play a big role in printing. So when you print registration black, it goes on all plates. Because black only goes on the black plate, not on the sand, not the magenta, not the yellow plate. There's 4 plates. That printer here, that's black and white actually. If it's a color inkjet printer, it's got CMYK. Registration black prints on all the plates. So when they line them up and they do the production, we're talking print production now, that's what the registration is for. But I'm glad you asked the question because very few people do. That's good. Yeah, so just don't use that one. That's a printer's nightmare. If somebody did that by accident, it'll print on all the plates. So then the black gets too heavy and all of a sudden the paper is like not drying, the ink sweats, not drying properly, all these things can happen. So don't use the registration black, just stick with 100% black, which is this one here. So I'm gonna go with like a bright green. And I'm gonna go, again, always start at the corner. Never ever start in the middle of a curve. You know why? Because it's gonna be like bumpy after, it won't be as smooth. You always start in the corner because it's a sharp point. So I'm gonna start here, click once, right? Just always click and let go. And then move the mouse to a predictable position. I'm not gonna go all the way here. I'm not gonna try to be a hero right off the bat. I could, but I'd rather just do it reasonably. I'm gonna go maybe over here somewhere, right? Just maybe over here, click, drag the mouse, position it that way. Then we go over here, just furthermore, maybe over here somewhere, click and drag the mouse, right? Keeping it going here, space bar. Now, I'm gonna teach you a nice technique trick while you're drawing. Sometimes these are called the handlebars. This is called the anchor point. The handlebars determine of what was done previously, where it's going next. The main thing here is to make sure they're always parallel in a 180 degree. Remember, 180, right? Because this is like 90, right? 45, 180. So they're always lined up. You can shorten one with the other. If you hold Option or Alt on your keyboard, I can make this a little shorter, but I won't bend the method. You see that? I'm not going to do this because it's not going to be good after. It's going to be a bumpy result. So I'm going to keep it perpendicular, but not as long so I can capture a better curve result. So I'm going to go all the way up, maybe like this, just a tad shorter. Now that was me holding Alt or Option. And now I'm going to go ahead and, well, I should make sure you Option drag. There we go. Now I'm going to, so just be careful when you do that. Make sure the pen tool is still viable. If it's not, you might have to go and just kind of do this again. Just click and pull it out one more time. Hope, because I was explaining it, and that's It messed up a bit, but I'm good now. So as long as you do it properly. So now I'm gonna go all the way over here in the middle, click and drag the mouse to this position right here. Okay. I kind of like where this is going. Maybe too long. I'm gonna hold Option and just shorten it just a small amount. So I'm gonna go click, well, maybe a little longer, a little shorter. There we go. Click and drag the mouse. Right? Now I'm in a corner situation. A corner situation. What does that mean? That means I can just cut, just click to cut. Just click to cut. Because you're going straight now, right? You're not, no more curves. Look, just click and click, right? Now the next one's a curve, so I'm gonna go maybe not too far, not too close. You're not gonna go here and here and here and here and here. Too many points, right? So you wanna go maybe roughly, maybe like halfway around here, and just click and drag the mouse. I like where this is going, so I can get a nice distance from here to there. I overdid it. So now watch. In the process, you can hold Option, and you could go and minimize this. See, but then it becomes bumpy, so maybe sometimes it's better to undo it, make it smaller, and just try to go around it one more time. You always want to keep it in the direction that it's going. So I'm going to press Command Z, make it a bit smaller. Always keep it in the same direction that you're going. And that's okay. Look, it's never going to be that perfect, especially when you get to this point. You can always fix it later, okay? So keep going. Sometimes let's not get too, perfectionist here. But this time I'm going to go all the way, perhaps, maybe even here. No, too short, right? So again, watch this. Control Z, Command Z, and try it again. So this time I'm gonna go maybe halfway, like over here, right? Command Z, let me just go, maybe I'll go here. Okay? Maybe here. Try to get that perfect position. Maybe this is too long. I'm gonna make this shorter. When you make it shorter, it's a little easier to kind of circum the next part. When it's too long, that's when you get into problems. You really have to be a perfectionist if you go that. So maybe keep it shorter. Keep always this half the distance. If there's a strategy to this, this is it right here. Keep it maybe half the distance, and that works, okay?
What is the drawback of having too many points?
Sorry?
What is the drawback of having too many points?
The drawback,
Yeah.
it's gonna be too blotchy. You know what I mean? Like you could, if you do a nice job with too many points, I'll show you the difference. It might look okay, but chances are 90% of the time, it doesn't. The fewer the points, the smoother the curves. Too many points, you're gambling with not having the smooth curve. So let me just finish this and I'll show you the difference. I'm gonna go here now, like this. There we go. Oh, look at that, that lines up nice, right? Maybe again, half the distance, right? But always keep it parallel to the previous point over here. Click and drag, and this one's the easiest one. You just go click and connect. That's it. Then you go with this white arrow tool, the direct selection tool, and you could go and fix your points if needed to be. Like for example, remember this one here? I'm gonna fix this one and that one. At the end of the day, you should have a nice green looking traced S. And how many points do I have? This is the question right now. So let's see how many points do I have. I'm gonna select it with this tool here, with the white arrow tool, and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Honestly, I anticipated 12. 10 was like a little too heroic, if you want to ask me. So if you want to do 10, I mean, it's really difficult to do it in 10 points. If you can, all the power to you. If you do 12 or 14, that's still okay. That's fine, nothing wrong. We're not competing here who's got the less points. But you don't want to go over 20. 20 is too many points, okay? So try to go between 10 and 16 to be on the safe side. And because if you have too many points, let me just quickly delete this and show you, here's what can happen. There's nothing wrong with doing this. Watch, I'll do it this way now. So I'll go click, click and drag, click and drag. Like you can do it that way too, but you got to really be careful on your smoothness. Like there's nothing wrong with doing this as a start. I mean, look, you can do this. Look, I'm going to do this right now. Click and drag, click and drag. This is fine. You want to do this to start with? That's okay. I'm going to click and drag, click and drag. I'm just clicking and dragging. Oh, this is why you want to make sure when you're drawing, you switch the fill and the stroke so you can see better, right? So I'm clicking and dragging here. This is the other attempt. All right. Oops, didn't close. Right, so I just did it again really fast, and the result isn't that bad, but it's not as good as the first one. Maybe if I did it slower and took my time, but this one has, how many points does this one have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points. Not bad, okay? So if you want to do closer assembly, that's okay too, right? So now go ahead and try it. And if you mess it up, do it again and again. I'll give you like an attempt or two. Like I'll give you like 7 minutes, and then we'll continue with the next stuff.
Hey, excuse me, can you show me which pen tool you've used? Because if I use this normal one, I can see that it is the opposite way you did. The other, like, let's say from here to here, so it's eating the letter.
Right, so the white. So the, just delete that, this one, hit delete, yeah. So we need drawing, right? Delete, just, yeah. So yeah, it's white, and then that one, the black. So that one, make sure, let me just press D, default. The white, make sure it's none. So click here, okay,
Here?
yeah. So now there's no fill. Now I won't interfere anymore. I
Okay.
won't eat it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's
But
good. Now you're gonna have a stroke. Now try it. Try it.
will I get the same?
Yeah. Okay.
No, but when you did it, there was like a line which is out, and you were playing with the curves.
What version of Illustrator do you have?
The Virgin?
The version. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an older one.
Ah, okay.
It doesn't have it. The new ones have it. This is what you do though. Watch this. And you click, right?
Yeah.
Over here, roughly here, right?
Yeah.
Click. Hold the mouse. Well, do you have a button? You have a button. There we go. Click. Hold. 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 That's why you need a mouse. The mouse is easier, right?
I do have it, it's there.
Good,
Yeah, I just.
yeah, no problem, that's fine, yeah. So you have a mouse, perfect. So you go here now, roughly around here, right? Watch this, click. And that way.
Okay.
Now, after, we can fix it, don't worry. Later on, we go with the white tool, just fix it up.
All right.
But now you keep going. This one, I'm gonna go, oh, wanna be a hero? Let's try to be a hero. So then you make this shorter with Alt. Alt, right?
Yeah.
Click this, make it shorter, like maybe half the distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's fine. That means if I go over here now, take it back this way. Okay, this one again, I'm gonna hold Alt, make this a little shorter. And I'm gonna go over here. Do this. I can always fix it after. And then when you come to this, you go like this. So you just go
Go back to
click,
the same
click,
point here.
and just click.
To cut
And
it
just
straight.
click and drag to make it.
Perfect, thank you so much.
No problem. Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah, I do. Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. Good for like clicking fast. So you should save this. Just hit Control S. Because you can always practice this again and again. And this is like, you know, if you have any of your homework to do for practicing, this is it right here. When you do it 3 times, you notice the difference from the 3rd time and the 1st time. Is that right? Right? That's the proof right there. Proof is in the pudding. So the more you do it, the better you get. I mean, it's like psychology, right? The brain registers better the way. This is very like tedious, you know? Yeah. Click, drag, click, hold, alt, click. It's a lot of steps to remember. So by executing it manually, that's how you inherit the memory process. So it works better. Okay, let's move on. Alrighty. So save, close. Okay, so now, we'll do one more exercise and then we'll grab a break, okay? And after the break, I'm gonna talk about the UI kit, the assignment that's we're gonna do for next week as well. And then the project's already assigned, I'll talk about that too. And then, you know, we'll just slowly wrap it up after that, okay? But this next one's important because I need you to open this thing called the logo challenge. Now, I know we're done with the logo stuff, but listen, it's always ongoing as far as drawing Illustrator. This is like very important that you know how to solve challenges. So if you open up this next file here called logo challenge, if you haven't done it already, download it from the class 4 advanced drawing module, logo challenge right here. In the beginning of the lesson, I asked everybody to download these 2 files. We just concluded the tracing S. Now we're doing the logo challenge next. So if you open that up, it'll take you right into Illustrator. These are all the different logos that we challenged ourselves to do. This was an extra one we did. There's another challenge, but we'll talk about that later. Every week, we're not gonna do all of them, but because a lot of them are similar. If we do one, that'll count for like 2 other ones that are there. But every time you pick one, I know which one I'm gonna eliminate for next time. So I want all of you here, right now, I know this is gonna be hard. How do we pick one, right? I want you to pick one that we're gonna do together. This is a challenge that we're gonna know how to execute. So because you're gonna challenge yourself to do anything. I want you to be able to look at anything and be able to recreate it in a digital software like Illustrator. So all these things pose a different challenge. So which one do you want to do? Which one did you say? Bottom right? Which one are you saying?
The one with the star.
The top, say.
The star.
You mean the Captain America shield? It's a different color, right? So that's a nice one. That's a drawing one too, right? Okay. Any other votes? How about this? We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So 5 and 4. And any other suggestions? Are you guys okay with those two that we suggested? Okay, that's fine. Let's do. This is a little more advanced. We'll save that for after. Okay. First, we'll do the actual star with the shield thing, with the sun or half moon underneath. This one's easy. It's not hard, but it still requires skill and focus, right? So zoom in on this one. Just to let you know, this is already set up in layers. So if you go to layers, this is already a template. It's already, remember, place, lock. This was already done like this, remember? Template is on, so you don't have to do anything. I just want you to understand what's happening in the background. So this is set up for you. So the tracing is where the fun happens. Now keep this file for next week, because every week I'm going to challenge you to do a different one until you can do all of them on your own, okay? So for this one, you have a star-looking shape with the two circles that are clipped. This requires some skill, believe it or not. It's not a pen tool thing. You could trace it with a pen tool. But did you know that Illustrator has a star tool right there? If you hold the button, you can draw stars all day, right? And you can go ahead and match this to make it that color. And then you can even rotate it to match that shape. But see, it's got perspective, so it's not really the same thing, right? So we got to make it more perspective oriented. But just to show you how the star tool works in Illustrator, it's beyond what it looks like. Watch this. This is the star tool. Ready? How about if you have to do a different star? Let's say you want to do not a 5-point star, but a 6-point star, 7-point star, 8-point star, 9. I'm using my other hand. I'm holding the mouse down. I'm going up, 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 down, 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 down on the keyboard. So I can do as many. Let's say I'm doing a 50% off special sale, fall special. Watch this. Then I hold Control Command. Now I do one of these, right? I move them in. So now this is a nice little seal of approval, right? So you can do lots of cool things with the star. But again, this is more like a perspective star. So it looks like we're going to draw this one with the pen tool. So let's go ahead and use the pen tool now that we know how to use it. Press D for default. Maybe take off the white fill and simply go like this. Click, 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 and click, and click. Now you can also tweak it with the white arrow tool so it looks more like a perspective. But honestly, because it's so pixelated, I really don't have a perfect method for this. I think this is like the best thing we can do. Yeah.
And in the previous class, we have done that we can adjust the shadow thing, that we can rotate it to a particular point. We can use that tool.
So which one? Sorry, the shadow?
The shadow one. We can make it tilt it to a particular angle. So can we do the start tool?
You mean shear it like that on an angle? You can do that. I know what you're saying. Basically, oh, now it's out of default now. I don't like what I did. I got to reset it. I know, eh? It's one of those. There we go. Whew. There we go. There we go. So there's a start. So you could do the shear method, which is here, shear, and you click here and you do one of these, right? That works too. Yes, that's what you meant, the shadow one, right? That's a good suggestion. But honestly, even this, yeah, I think it works. So that's a good suggestion. You can use the shear tool or you can use the pen tool, the one we practiced to do it. Honestly, they both look almost identical, okay? But I like how you think. I like that technique there. Let's utilize what we know already, right? So you can use two methods now. You can use the shear method or you can use the tracing method, okay? Let me go again quickly with how this one. Please tell me if you figure out how to reset the tool. Sometimes if you botch it up, there's got to be a reset option somewhere. I don't want to set my preferences, but it's something that's been bothering me. I just forgot to look it up. Once you mess this up, up, down, the next time you draw it, it'll remember the same thing. So just got to be a way to reset it somewhere. I just forgot how to do that. So anyhow, want to do a ninja shuriken star, want to do a triangular thing, you can do many points. So if you want to do this, you can hold shift, use the shear tool like we did last week with the shadow effect, and simply go and do this, right? Or use the pen tool if you like, okay? All right, next, we got this half moon looking star thing, right? So how do we do that? Well, this now requires something else that we know how to do. I mean, I could use the pen tool, like watch, don't do it, just watch me. I could do this, right? And this, right? And like kind of like pretend to draw it, but I don't think it's gonna be that perfect. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be symmetrical on both ends. I think the best thing we can do here is to integrate two shapes, like circles. So if I go with the elliptical tool, right? And I draw an elliptical shape, you follow me? Right? And just simply go and distort the shape to match the curvature, right? Do that one. And then make a second one. So basically grab this one here, hold Option, and do a second one. And the second one, just kind of shrink it smaller. So we're gonna do maybe this. And don't worry, we're gonna line it perfectly so it's lined up. Maybe do one of these, right? Now select both of these circles and just align them in the middle, perfectly in the center. So it's isometric, right? So I got one circle on top of another circle. This circle is yellow, right? And this circle is, let's say, I don't know, we'll pick another color like green, right? The trick is we're gonna use the Pathfinder to cut one from the other. Sometimes drawing, as much as ambitious as it sounds, like you wanna, like now you master the pen tool, you wanna, don't trace a circle. A circle is a circle. It's not, you're not gonna do a better job than the circle, okay? So just use the circle, okay? If the shape's there, like a rectangle circle, use the basics. Only draw the pen tool when it's like a really special curve that you don't have a shape for it, basically. That's the rule I use usually, generally, right? So in this case, two circles, right? One will subtract the other, like a cookie cutter technique. I'm gonna go open the Pathfinder now. Here's the Pathfinder. And I'm gonna use minus front, this one. Oh, I gotta select both of them. Make sure they're both selected. Minus front, and there it is. And also, if I want, I can fix this. You see, I can tweak it, right? And I can tell the corners. You see the corners? I can say, go to the stroke attribute here, window, stroke, and I'm gonna go and make it, oh, this one here, corner, pointy, see? Make it pointy. The middle one, okay, so it's nice and round. And that is how we're going to orchestrate this thing. So I'm gonna move it here, eyedropper tool, eyedropper, get that orange in there, put it back in place, look how nice and clean it looks now. And this one here, eyedropper, the green. And now we have this and this, all perfectly traced. Look how poor the original one looks in quality. Look how nice and rich we did it with vector shapes tools. This is why, again, you want to learn these techniques to do any production out there. Print, web, every walk of every designer knows this is the tools you want to use to make vector files, right? A lot of machines still speak vector, like SVG for web, EPS for print. This is why you can recreate almost anything. All right. Absolutely, absolutely. So let me just redo this one more time, right? I'm gonna move this down here. So basically I have two circles. First I draw one circle. I make sure I kind of surround that one nicely. The best way is to get the outline view. So I'm gonna hit outline view, right? And just look at this, line it up like this. Line it up so it's perfect, nice, right? And then do a second circle, and even look at the top even, look. Squish it to that. Okay? Just kind of trap it nicely, right? The second one now will be like kind of smaller. It'll be like this. And for that one, you have to do a lot of editing. You have to kind of do this and this, right? The trick is this. Watch, this is, it's a good thing I'm showing you again. I should have pointed this out. Let me change the color around. Here's a trick here. Watch this. Don't do this. That won't work. You see? Make sure this circle surpasses the second circle by a small amount, right? That's how you get the cutout. Because if you don't do that, it's going to catch a little bit of the circle too. So don't do that. Just go a little higher. You see what I mean? Then it really gets the edges. Because if you don't do that, it's not going to get the edges, you see? If that's what you want, then that's fine. But this is not what we want to get the whole thing like that. So pass it slightly by like a pixel or two. Select both of them, line them up perfectly with one another, and then just do minus front. Minus front. There we go. And of course, round the edges with the stroke panel. And yeah, you can tweak it more if it's not perfect. You can fix it a little better doing that stuff, right? All right, so again, practice that one. We got one more by popular demand. This one here. This one is very similar to the one we did a few weeks ago with the clock. Remember the rotation thing? So this one will work quite nicely. For this one, it's called the pedal rotation. So you want to get a basic elliptical tool. First, do a file save. Just draw a normal elliptical shape like this, okay? Press D for defaults. Put it here. Look, rotate it, okay? So it's perfectly set up in place. Take out the white fill, make it none. So you can see it perfectly right there. So you're drawing an elliptical shape, okay? I'm not gonna try to trace an ellipse when I can make an elliptical shape and rotate it and place it perfectly. And that's the art to begin with, okay? That's what you do first. You resize, rotate, position your element right there, okay? And if you want to give it a fill, you can. Just to catch it better, I'm just gonna go flip, just make it like black, right? So I can see the edges better, nicely. Sometimes if things get a little jerky, like it kind of snaps and stuff, you might want to go to view and turn off smart guides. Smart guides really sometimes limit your movement when it comes to pixel increments. So by turning off the smart guides, I can much more freely position my shape without any interruptions. Again, that's under view, smart guides. Now, smart guides are good if you're doing referencing with objects in adjacent to other objects, but when you're doing freestyle movements, it's better to disable smart guides. So you can just turn it on and off. Okay, now we're gonna do the whole math thing again. So how many petals do we need? 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, just like your watch. I have an old style looking watch here. I got 12 numbers, right? So that's 12 into 360. How many degrees is that? What's 360 divided by 12? 30 degrees. So if we mathematically separate these petals 30 degrees in a rotation type of setting, we're going to get a perfect system like this, right? So that's what we have to do. So to do that, we need to find the center. The center will be defined by another circle. So I'm going to use the circle tool and simply just draw a perfect circle. I'm going to hold shift. Make sure it's a perfect circle. If it's not, it might not give you the perfect 360 radius. So I'm holding shift, drawing a circle, create the outlines. And the trick here is to position the circle right in the middle of where this whole thing is. This is the most important step right here. Because if this is off, it's not gonna, do you get it? It's not gonna work. So make sure this is set up perfectly. And make sure this is also kind of set up perfectly as well. Right? And I know, like, if you can define perfection based on this very pixely thing, it's hard to do, I understand. But do your best, right? You do your best to your own judgment to set this up. Like, look what we're working with here. This is like really poor looking JPEG stuff. This is like stuff I get from clients sometimes. Like, hey, here's my logo. I'm like, we can't use this. It looks horrible. You can't print it or put it on our website. You can't do that. You have to make a new logo. Make a new one, whatever, right? So, okay, so we got the circle, very important, and we got the petals. Why is the circle? The circle creates the reference point in the center. Without the circle, we won't have any registration, right? So the circle is there for that reason. Now we're going to put on the X-ray vision glasses, right? We're going to press the Command Control Y, so you see right through, right? Remember Command Y? And we select the petal, just the petal, not the circle. We're going to use the Rotate tool. We're going to Option click right here. Option or Alt click right in the center of the circle. And we're going to type in -30 or just 30. Counterclockwise or clockwise. I'll do -30 because it's going to go clockwise that way. -30 or 30 degrees times 12 is 360. Now, watch this. I'm going to press the copy button, not OK, but copy, to make a duplicate of that. As I zoom out, I'm going to press with my no mouse, right? Control D or Command D on a Mac, like this. Command D, Command D, Command D, and I keep going all the way till I stop right there. And then I go ahead and deselect everything. And that wasn't too bad, actually. Sometimes I have to do this 2-3 times to get it right. It looks okay, right? So now I'm going to press Command Y again, delete the circle, right? And these petals, what you have to do is grab all of them, move them out of the way, and color match them. Color match means this one, I drop green. This one, now watch how fast I'm going to do it. If you click on this tool, selection tool, eyedropper tool, select the color. I don't want to keep switching selection tool, eyedropper tool, selection tool, eyedropper. If I hold Command or Control on your keyboard, you're going to automatically switch to the selection tool. So if I go like this, Command, click, let go, sample, Command, click, let go, sample, Command or Control to select. When you let go, it goes to the previous tool you selected. It's a nice little trick, all these little tricks, right? They work wonders when you're using these programs. It just makes it so much faster. So Command, click, sample, Command, click, sample, Command, click, sample, and so on and so forth. Before you know it, the whole thing is done, or is it? Because now there's a level of transparency that we have to adhere to. And that can be done in 2 ways. You can actually go ahead and just lower the opacity of the whole thing to 50%. And basically, that's how you do that exact thing. Or you can make each one have a color blend of some sort. I think this one works just as fast. 50% opacity makes it see-through 50%, right? And then you do Command G, group it, and then put it back here. And that's how we can recreate. Maybe 50 is too strong. I'll do 70%. Okay. There we go. Okay, and that's how you're gonna go ahead and do that. I'll put it back to 100% so we can see it nice and easy. There we go, 100%. Whoops. There we go. Okay, put it back to 100%, just so you can see it better. So as I said, we're going to do a few more logo challenges every week. We'll do another one so you can learn how to not just draw and stuff, but really think how to solve problems. Because that's what Illustrator do. All these techniques you're learning, rotates, scales, some of them are repetitive, but that's okay. You repeat something over and over, you get better at it. So all of them have a different challenge. And I like how this one we did Pathfinder, right? Subtract from front, overlap, star, skew. I like that. Thank you for that secondary option. I like that. Or drawing with the pen tool. And then we have here step and repeat, 30-degree angle to do something like that. And again, I've worked with a lot of programs out there with graphics and stuff. Nothing can do what Illustrator can do. And I'm not trying to sell it to you, but now you can see how powerful and amazing this program is once you really know how to use it, right? For any use, any type of thing. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Let's grab a break now. I'm gonna stop the recording. When we come back, we gotta talk about the UI kit and the other exercises we have coming. I'm just gonna hit File, Save, and the recording is done for this class.